2022년 DRX 아무도 모른다. 노랄먼 제조 이 맛의 페란드.
对于 EDG 来讲，他们是卫冕冠军，但其实 EDG 在整个夏天的后期也经历了比较大的波动。
LOL의 또 다른 살아있는 전설 데프트의 인생 대회가 지금 월집니다. 데프트 이번 댄스가 라스트 댄스가 아닌 라스팅 댄스이길 바랍니다.
롤드컵이 끝난 뒤에 이제 결과에 따라 은퇴를 생각하고 있다는 얘기를 많이 했었는데, 사실 이제 프로게이머를 하면서 저한테 마지막 남은 목표도 월즈고, 사실 못 잃어본 것도 월즈 하나라고 생각해서 만약 이 목표를 이루면은 그냥 미련 없이 그만둘 수 있을 것 같아요.
데프트 이번 대회에서 스카웃과 메이코 이렇게 두 선수와 재만남을 하게 되는데요. 필연적입니다.
其实面对一些有认识的对方，也是还是很想赢吧，因为都是对手。
사실 처음에는 이제 메이코 선수랑 스카웃 선수가 우승하는 걸 봤을 때 처음에는 되게 축하하는 마음이 생겼다가 뭔가 갈수록 뭔가 저 선수들은 나랑 같이 했던 목표를 이뤘는데 나는 아직도 점점 멀어져가는 느낌을 많이 받았어서 좀 힘들었던 것 같아요.
DRX are a team that many people underestimated, but now a team worth fearing.
Def 的选手的话，我觉得他是一个全能的选手吧，因为他的队友需要什么，他就会做什么。感觉现在也会想起了他经常带我。
而对于两支如此职业的战队来说，他们也不会因为任何原因影响到场上的发挥。
데프트의 마지막이 될 수도 있는 이번 월즈에서 그의 첫 4강 진출을 위한 상대가 하필 이대지입니다. 이게 무슨 운명의 장난입니까?
데프트 형, 우리 이번에 꼭 이겨야 해서 이해해주길 바래.
스카웃, 메이코, 렛츠 댄스.
초비는 항상 2인자란 쓴소리를 수없이 들었습니다. 라인전의 킹이었지만 대회의 킹이 되지 못했죠. 그에게 그리고 젠지에겐 엄청난 부담감이 있을 겁니다.
개인적으로 두려운 부분은 제가 저 자신한테 믿음이 부족할 때 그게 좀 두려울 것 같아요. 지금 제가 느끼는 이 두려움은 제 성장에 도움이 안 되는 것 같아서 해결하는 게 제일 나은 것 같아요.
제가 1999년부터 해온 수많은 e스포츠 중계 중 최고 단 한 경기를 뽑으라면 제 선택은 이번 DRX 대 EDG 8강 경기입니다.
And the nexus is in his eyes, and he's gonna get. Oh, the inhibitor! The inhibitor is back up! No! The game was in your hands, Steph! It was right in front of you, and the inhibitor spawned!
오랜 기간 동안 앞으로 나아가지 못하고 이제 항상 머물러 있거나 좀 뒤로 가는 듯한 느낌을 많이 받았었는데
And New York erupts as Steph will not fall! Zeka will not allow it!
여기까지 오면서 사라진 것 같아요.
DRX 아무도 그들이 여기까지 오리란 상상도 하지 못했을 겁니다.
Nearly a kill and a scout! Needs to get the shot! Oh, the flash!
젠지는 EDG보다 훨씬 더 잘한다 생각하고 있어서 더 준비 열심히 해서 제카라는 이름을 잊지 못하게 만들어 드리겠습니다. 데프트 선수 인터뷰 때 우셨잖아요. 그 모습을 보고 저도 되게 울컥하더라고요. 어느 누가 언제 은퇴할지 모르는 나이가 됐는데 엄청난 서로 좋은 경기력을 보여줬으면 좋겠고 누가 이기든 응원했으면 좋겠습니다.
이 선수들의 정상결전이 시작됩니다. LCK의 새로운 황금 시대의 서막이 열립니다.
혁경을 제 손으로 한국으로 보내게 되어서 유감스럽네요. 초비를 적팀으로 만났을 때 어떤 느낌이었는지 다시 기억나게 해줄게.
My dance is not over yet.
Damn old legends and old legacies. Goodbye, Faker. Goodbye, T1.
2016년 마지막으로 롤드컵이 미국에서 열렸을 때 그는 우승했습니다. 6년이 지난 지금 베이커는 어린 팀원들을 이끌고 다시 한번 우승에 도전합니다.
사실 결승전에 오기까지 굉장히 오래 걸렸고 또 우승하고 싶은 마음이 그동안 컸던 것 같아요.
첫 결승전을 앞두고 있는데 뭔가 이 결승에 오르는 상상을 너무나도 많이 했어서 아직도 뭔가 꿈꾸고 있는 것처럼 실감이 나지 않는 것 같아.
마포고등학교. 그 학교에 조용하고 수줍음 많은 두 소년들이 입학합니다. 그리고 리그 오브 레전드란 게임은 그들의 평범한 삶을 송두리째 바꾸게 됩니다.
학교에서 랭크 1등 우리 학교에 있다 이런 얘기를 들었어서 그때 처음 알게 됐던 것 같아. 그 선수보다 내가 더 잘해줘서 제일 잘하는 학생이 되고 싶다 그런 생각을 많이 했던 것 같아.
2013년도 때 데프트 선수랑 같은 게 데뷔했었는데
운명이라도 되는 듯
같은 곳에서 시작해서
다른 길을 걸어와 다시 만나게 되었습니다.
제가 엄청 어릴 때 혁경이 이제 전성기를 달리고 있을 때 제가 롤드컵은 꼭 시켜줄 테니까 믿고 한 번만 나랑 같이 해달라고 말했던 기억이 있는데 혁경 미안해 내가 우승할게 이해해줘.
그 누구도 달성하지 못한 네 번째 우승을 노리고 있는 고투 페이커.
우승의 달콤함, 패배의 쓰라림 절대로 우승을 놓치지 않을 겁니다. I'm ready for the fourth.
이 둘 중 한 명의 꿈이 깨진다는 건 정말 가슴 아픈 일입니다. 또한 이 둘 중 한 명의 꿈이 이루어진다는 건 모두에게 가슴 벅찬 일일 겁니다. 데프트의 무도는 멈출 수 운명이라 된다는
우승이라는 마지막 안무로 끝날 수 있게 혁경의 춤을 완성시켜 보도록 하겠습니다.
Last dance goes on. The stage is set. It is one final chapter. It is one more page in the legacy of Deft. He has one chance to kill the king.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far and start walking.
DRX가 영화 같은 여정을 밟아왔는데
The movie's over.
마지막 댄스가
시작됩니다.
됩니다.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far and start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far and start walking. On a mission to get high up and know that I'ma die. Reaching for a life that I don't really need at all. Never listen to replies, learn the lesson from the wise. You should never take advice from somebody that ain't tried. They said I wouldn't make it out alive. They told me I would never see the rise. That's why I gotta get them every time. Gotta watch them bleed too.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Heading to the moonlight and we're speeding. We're ready to the stars, ready to go far. It's parallel convergence. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the World 2022 recap episode of Parallel Convergence. I am Andesian, and joined with me, as always, is the one and only Dr. Manhattan. Good evening, sir.
That was one of the longest setups I've ever seen for any kind of. Is it going to be one of those shows?
I'm not sure what you mean, sir.
Then I'm going to go ahead and instinctively say yes. Especially with the look on your face.
The keck will flow, sir. But this fucking performance, though, man.
Like I said, that was epic in of its own right. Although I yet to get the full Dr. Manhattan experience on this opening ceremony.
I like this little remix bit at the end here. Almost more so than the piano.
I mean, this definitely fits more in with the song itself. If you think about it, more so than the piano.
I'm still walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. Headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm still walking. This is a fucking, like, perfect fitting ass way to send off Worlds.
You're not wrong whatsoever. I mean, when you have an NA tournament, you go all out.
Ugh. Again, welcome to Parallel Convergence. I am Andesian. That's Dr. Manhattan. We're here to talk about everything that was this tournament. You know, I have to actually say something that I've realized.
Uh-huh.
Listen to the lyrics of Star Walkin'.
Okay.
There is something about the World's Tournament It's as if Riot Music somehow pre-scripts this shit and calls it before anybody else can. Right?
Hmm.
Every world's theme, the lyrics end up fitting the tournament perfectly by the end.
Okay, I hadn't 100% caught on to that. But now that I'm thinking about it, you're absolutely right.
Like, DRX quite literally took like half of the lyrics seriously. They're like, don't say it's over unless I'm still breathing. I took that shit personally.
Yeah, it's like as long as we're here, as long as we're breathing, nah. It ain't done. It ain't done.
Like, they said I wouldn't make it out alive. How many times throughout this entire tournament has DRX been the underdogs?
Pretty much just about every single round.
Like seriously, DRX fucking said, man, hey, thanks for the theme song. We gonna take this shit personally.
We're gonna take this personally. We're gonna remember this as we go ahead and we design our championship skins.
Because, like, think about it. Last year, burn it all down, right? What did EDG do? They fucking burned it all down with the upset win.
Yeah, coming out of nowhere. Nobody expected them in particular of any of the LPL teams. Bam.
Also, what is it with the underdog upset wins with world champions these past like 2-3 years?
How many times did I see it yesterday?
It's something about us casting these finals, man.
Yeah, we started doing it, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's
upsets started happening. Yeah.
These teams get an Andesian, Dr. Manhattan buff, whatever you want to call it, and whammo! Oh, wait a minute, they're casting? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do our thing.
I'm telling you, right? You can hire us. We're available. 3 easy payments of 333.33. 33. Maybe add a couple more threes on the end of that, just for good measure.
We'll negotiate.
We'll get an agent. We'll negotiate.
Well, yeah, exactly. We'll let the.
I hear
agent
CSA is very good about these things.
Yes, they are.
Man, what a tournament, though. I mean, we introed on what I appropriately named it when I rendered it, the story of DRX. And I don't think Riot could have hyped that up even better. Like, we saw DRX go through one powerhouse opponent after another, and the hype was just... It lived up to the hype and then some.
You are not wrong, because you not only go through how many people had them as the underdog and picked against them, play-ins, groups, every stage of the knockouts. But even then, the series itself, after game 1, after game 2, it's like, okay, you still got this, but there were all these little seeds. But just, as I said during the finals Saturday, DRX, they played with house money. They knew they were playing with house money. And in the end, bam.
Well, I put together a little bit of a highlight reel. Very small one, even though it's, long. Like 8 minutes long. Mainly because I just couldn't not include the entirety of the semis in the highlight reel.
Right.
of my favorite plays throughout the tournament. So I'm gonna pull that up real quick here, and we'll watch this. We're gonna get the audio right on one video and fuck it up on another. Thanks, Vegas.
The start of the League of Legends World Championship.
It is about none other than the game itself. It's about the very best in the globe.
It's a slaughter, and now he's just dead. Yes, that's not the guy. CDG will smash the dreams of the LCK. Once they get the lead, they turn it up to 10. Ready to fight. World champions against each other for life and death. Tell them I'm ready for anything, everything, everything. I'm ready for anything. Bring it on. It's not enough. Baby, I'm ready for everything. 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 Tell them I'm ready for anything. They found the fight they were looking for.
This was definitely not a tournament you wanted to miss. It was just non-stop bangers, non-stop action the whole time.
And a ball.
Jumps forward, Tapoon does too. No need
like honestly, and I've got some numbers that I want to talk about after the highlight reel, but I think we may be seeing an NA tournament sooner rather than later.
No. Pause the highlight reel. You're doing it again. What did you just say yet again?
We're gonna see an NA tournament sooner rather than later.
Yet, did you not look at me Square Saturday as they were doing the post-game interviews and presentation and everything else? And I said, hey, they're not going to wait all the way until 2028 for the next NA tournament. And then you said, oh, no, this is still Riot. Chances are pretty low.
I don't know. I saw some numbers, and when we talk about it after the highlight reel, I think you'll understand why I've had this sudden change of heart.
Okay, this is another Dr. Manhattan moment. I'm just saying.
All right, you
not
go
gonna
ahead
find
and
it
have
just
your
yet.
side, Rob.
Tapoon's golden. Pentakill! We're in Mexico. I'm second.
But our first pentakill of the tournament. Now we got our second. Both of the pentakills
this is
in the
kind of
tournament
the end of it all. Grell's gonna get ultimate, but he can't really dive back in. Shogun's dominating. My goodness, the fellas! Might be on track for the Penta. 3, 4, 5. Give it to me. There we go, baby. That's a pentakill.
I will say, I'm
Shogun.
actually
16, 2, and 6 from Shogun. He has dominated Isurus from the start of the game till the end.
I mean, a little bit surprised that it was
Which, by the way, we have some huge
Stepping
news
onto
about
the dragon,
that.
picks it up. 3 dragons apiece, but at what cost? Gala's going low. The apotheosis has already been used. The knockback is gigantic. It's Pioshik that goes down. Breathe gets one back. Deft has got himself a double already. Now trying to fight out. Breathes the counter strike keeps him alive. Infernal Chains don't pull him out. 3 for 3. Deft goes golden with a stopwatch. Breathe looking to stun. He finds it. He gets the shutdown onto Deft. It breathes Jax to the team fight. They're trying to close it out. Landing for another. Zeka's running for his life. 2v1.
I honestly cannot believe that RNG were able to bring that back. Way, you still gotta be careful.
The blast cone! But here comes Breathe. Can he can it? Another one. 4 versus 4 in terms of
Zeka,
death.
don't do
Now
it.
Breathe gets taken down by Zeka.
And you can see Zeka just started
đã
the
đều
air.
cuộc đi cơ hội của mình của bên không đi quạt và có nội tại rất điểm đến từ Leon rồng vài tuổi thì có lẽ kia cũng không đủ trâu, sát thương là quá nhiều đấy và đó là quét sạch với điểm mà gục thuộc về Nam Minh trong tay của Bắc và ra bây giờ là khá lâu gây ra nhưng công ty có làm gì được hay không đây?
Yeah,
Anh lao ra với vị trí đấu trường
this
chiêu cuối cùng cơ hội được cân lên, Nam vẫn còn máu kia cần phải ôm được Lucian của Zeki Love.
It was a great play, right? But honestly, I really think that looked seriously affected this entire group. And honestly, the rest of the tournament. Do I think the eventual result would have stayed the same? Yes.
We would have gotten there a much different way.
Yes.
Giờ vào nhảy đó tới từ lại vì một lỗi rất nhỏ.
But that play was crazy. As we see, the #1 play is rated by LO Esports from the group stage. Which I also thought this was just Faker FD4.
유일한 희망인데. 자, 그래도 빙거가 나왔습니다. 지역 장악을
For what it's worth, Jensen really almost had Faker there.
Yeah, boy.
He had him twice earlier in that game.
Yeah, but Faker decided, you know what?
no CC
I
left.
don't want the body fight Jensen. I'll take it
And
to
it's,
the dragon, ready for the
and it's funny because the #1 game, or the #1 play from the group stage, comes from the one game in the entire group stage since garbage time.
Time after time, damn your church, he is here to win.
I love that line. Damn your church. Church of Chovy, not at Worlds.
No, Generation Chovy got shut down.
Generation Chovy got too old for this shit. I love that play though. Zeka sets up the charm for Death to gale force forward and get the kill. This one is even better. This is just like a master class in how to play Kindred. Watch this. So Peter comes into the back of the pit here. This Elder Drake is getting really low. Right? They're thinking, okay, we'll go ahead, let them keep going on it. Let's go down even further. He goes in, he flashes over the wall, he spites it. But the Kindred ultimate keeps it alive while they delete Graves to secure the Elder. If that isn't some fucking 500 IQ play. Damn the 200, damn the 300. We're not even gonna give it to you for 400.
推到一个秒秒躲了 ，Barry 一个耳闪地上对方的后排，然后看看能不能撞出来，已经撞破了吧？在这边是打的。这个闪现是什么意思啊 ？Faker 进场了，直接 R1必中接破坏王进场，结束了。
The birth of a legend, the past tried to trap me too bad. My future
Dios mío, con el explosivo y nuevamente los jugadores asuntos pendientes por parte de ambos equipos van a intentar buscar la última batalla por equipos. Aquí quién se lo queda. ¡No son robots! ¡Gerard! ¡Son de otro maldito planeta!
That grin on his face just sends it off.
He's just like,
I still got it, bitches.
OX 퀴즈를 계속 맞출 수는 없거든요. 그렇죠. 위기감
#1 outplay. This I think was the #1 play of the whole fucking tournament. Right here. I don't care, and I know we saw some plays in finals, but I think this was the #1 play of the whole tournament. And we have seen the crazy plays in this tournament. Hell, in this highlight pack. Right? But honestly, that had to be the best play this tournament.
and that's why I say Faker's coming back. After pulling out everything that he did and just showing the world, hey, I don't just still got it. I'm still the best until you take me out. And now that he sees what happened, and let's call it what it is, a heartbreaking, not crushing and an overwhelming 0-3-0 defeat, but crushing.
Oh no, this wasn't. I wouldn't even call it crushing, to be honest with you. I think Faker lost it fair and square.
Yeah,
Game 5. something about World's Finals that go to Game 5 with favored teams doing or making questionable decisions in the draft.
Yeah, boy, was I glad that I wound up not making those bets on Bovada. I'll tell you that much. they did me a favor that night.
But I we're gonna get into DRX and T1 a little bit more in the broadcast in a few moments here. But we got some breaking news off of Twitter yesterday. So we are going to go ahead and check the tweets.
Tweeting, ephemeral, fleeting, Lugan web, face code, split zone, ask mode, checks the tweets,
Und also E-Mails.
And also emails. Saigon Buffalo, the youngest team at Worlds 2022, is looking for a new owner.
Oh, hell.
Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Saigon Buffalo is up for sale. I really hope whoever buys it doesn't change the name. Like, there is so much brand power on that Saigon Buffalo name. Like, I really hope if a deal gets made and, you know, the team does sell, that they somehow manage to, like, keep the rights to the name Saigon Buffalo and they're not forced to change it.
You know, I have a question.
Because if they change it, it's you know, it is going to be very difficult, I think, for them to maintain the popularity and the fan base that they have gotten from their international play over the past few years.
You know, I have a question.
Yes.
You know, Powerball is
1 point something billion, yeah.
1.9 billion. You go ahead and where we're at.
You got to give Uncle Sam like 274 million back if you win, yeah.
Yeah, so you would still be clearing at bare minimum $535 million, maybe closer to 600. Hypothetically, say either of us plays, we win. Huh?
I mean, yeah, hell yeah, we'll buy Saigon Buffalo.
I mean, it couldn't be asking for.
We got to move to Vietnam, though.
Well, I mean, you know, I'd be right.
Or at least we're gonna be making a lot of trips to Vietnam.
Well, I mean, make a lot of trips to Vietnam. I would base myself in Thailand. Everybody would win. Because they couldn't be asking.
Thailand. I wonder if the people that do Rod Roddy suits are still in business.
They could be.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Brain?
I think so. But where are we going to find a 50-pound wheel of cheese?
Or a size 52 jacket?
Yeah, I'm just.
Hey, if they could make them custom for Rod Roddy, I'm sure I show up and say, "Look, American."
Exactly.
You know, flash a American $100. Look, American. It's American.
I mean, honestly, you go in there with a fistful of bot, you can make some things happen.
I don't even think we need a fistful of bot. More like walk in there and show off a couple of fresh, you know, some fresh these. And
well, I get that, but again, paying respect to the local currency, especially with the exchange rate, it's cheaper.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong, but
no, I know I'm not wrong. I mean, what was once 30 to the dollar, that is 40 to the dollar. don't ask me how I know these things.
Oh, I know how you know these things, but we're not going to get into that right now.
But they can't be asking that much. I mean, what? Few million?
10, maybe? Probably would be a very generous offer.
Okay. 10, we could probably...
I don't know what the franchising fee is in the VCS. But I mean, it can't be that crazy, right?
No, it can't.
Why does it sound like you're in the middle of research phase right now, even though I can't see you?
Because maybe I might be in the middle of research, question mark.
But yeah, no. Saigon Buffalo up for sale. So we'll see what happens. I know Mr. Beast said that on the World's Finals broadcast he was interested in buying a team. I know he said LCS, but I mean, hey, what's available is available, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I wish him the best of luck on that one, to be honest with you.
Okay, so it's 10 million for LCS.
Yeah, I know that.
So you figure with the minor region, we can probably knock that down to say between
5.
Yeah, 5, 7 at the absolute most. We may need to follow that in the next week or two. Because, I mean, no disrespect to Mr. Beast, but someone like us, and namely you, I would trust for owning a team more than him. I'd even be a silent partner.
I'll be honest with you. If I owned a League of Legends team, you thought Joe Marsh was a vocal owner? You thought like Liquid or C9 Jack were vocal owners? They ain't gonna have nothing on me, buddy.
Like I said, you would be the face and everything in ownership. I'd just be the silent partner in the background.
You'd be crunching the numbers because somebody's got to do the math around here, and it sure as hell ain't gonna be me.
Exactly.
Why, here on the Not a Network, I prefer that my math be done for me, because heaven forbid I have to start doing math on air. I'm not saying I can't, but heaven forbid. Because the kind of math we usually end up having to do on air is not 2 + 2 is 4. That's quick maths.
Quick maths for the average person.
I honestly think that if I owned a team, there would be some changes. Like, I am literally gonna fly to Korea, and I'll fucking tweet Joe Marsh and be like, "Hey, I just bought a team. Walk me through how you run things. Like, I need to see this Korean work ethic firsthand for myself so that I can take it back to, in this case, Vietnam and apply it, in my own style. Because I have no stranger. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And I honestly think work ethic is probably about 60% of our problem here in North America.
Oh, yeah. That's our problem here. Not to mention, you as an owner of a team turning them into a powerhouse, you would have a little bit more of a seat at the table for things in the grand scheme. Like if Riot does things and nudging them towards specifics. Like, oh, I don't know, if they
This
decide
ain't the NFL. I might be a team owner, but it's not like there's a committee and they sit down. But okay, I'll rephrase that. I'm going to rephrase that. In North America, that shit might work if you're a North American team owner. But I'm going to be owning a team in a minor region. That's like Dan Snyder trying to get all of his shit he wants the NFL to fucking change to go through right now.
Well, I mean,
they're gonna look at him and be like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Well, of
Which
course,
is kind of what they're doing right now.
Well, no, they're like, oh no, we know who you are and we don't like you. That's a big difference.
I mean, it kind of might become one and the same, but I gotta give it a year before I make too many big wave splashes.
I'm not saying do it right away. I am just saying, that's why I said build them up into some level of a powerhouse. Then that would lead you to
Oh yeah, no.
things.
If we could go to Worlds again and have a epic ass performance, I'll even tell my players, it's like, you guys want to stay if we get eliminated? Okay, we'll stay. I'll pay for it. Or go pay for it. Why the hell not?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these teams that get eliminated, then Riot's literally got them on the first flight home. Maybe if you're lucky, you could ask them to delay a little bit, but they don't like doing that. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with We'll see what happens with Saigon Buffalo and their ownership moving forward. That's really the big news that we have right now. Because there's a lot going on all over Twitter and off season, and yeah, when things get announced in the next, like as things get announced formally in the next week or two here, as the season officially wraps to a close and some of these contracts officially end. Like for example, a lot of the day after Worlds contracts have obviously already hit because, technically Sunday was the day after Worlds, but, if you want to count business days, today is the day after Worlds. So, we're going to see we're going to have a lot of news. We'll be going in depth next week on our regular show. What the current rumors are, what do we know for a fact, what big name is going where. But for right now, I do want to talk about, I know we're wrapping up Worlds here, so I do want to go ahead and go to the prop bets. I mean, pick'ems. I mean, yeah, I said what I said. Fuck it.
I got shredded. Shredded, dare I
mean,
say.
I mean, we both did. So prop bets have settled. And all rewards have been given out. I'm going to go ahead and pull mine onto screen here. I got 10 points for Peanut getting the most first blood kills at Worlds because he came in third place. The number one was DRX's Kingin. I mean, with these player bets, you kind of have to go deep. You have to go to players who you think are going to make like seriously deep runs, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I was surprised at which team will pay this one right here. Which team will play the most different champions? DRX and Evil Geniuses apparently tied this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, apparently there were 9 or more Baron Steals at Worlds. Thank you, Finals Series.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you,
That's
Final Series,
gotta
for
be
that.
a record.
Thank you, Final Series, for that. Thank you for putting all of the good traits on vacation, not even bringing them to San Francisco. Stupid Ocean traits.
Yeah, I know. Ocean made a resurgence out of nowhere, it seems like, because I know Hextech was in the lead for a while. Yeah, I only got 10 points out of the entirety of Crystal Balls.
I'm gonna go back and see how I did.
So I ended up with 86 points, thanks to me not picking DRX to win. I lost the finals, which knocked me out of the top 5%. I finished 269,100.
Well,
which ain't horrible.
If it makes you feel any better, I only got 20 points out of the Crystal Balls. That's
yeah, you
because,
did better than I did.
Yeah, because Yumi came in second for most banned, as Caitlyn was the most banned.
Yeah.
And I finished with 82 points, 397,971st. So I wasn't too far behind you.
We got rewards. We got a lot of rewards. We even got the they sent out the A tier finish. So speaking of awards or rewards or both, I did say we were going to open rewards live on air today. So here we are. We got 68 chests and a State Farm chest. Thank you, Community or Assist of the Week. They gave out a State Farm chest. So fuck it. Might as well open that one first. Let's see what we get. All right, we got a regular Hextech chest. Gragas Esquire. Got the key for the chest. And 10 Mythic Essence. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's go ahead and open up the regular Hextech box we got from that. And we get, Empyrean Jin right off the brand new, just released skid line. Okay. And I actually play Jin, so I might actually end up unlocking that.
See,
as
so far,
my first skin for Jin. So let's go ahead and start opening up these Worlds capsules. Got an emote, Blitz Screen of Damage. Okay. Got a Zir I Will End You icon. Got a Zoe emote there. Got another emote.
Sensing a theme here.
Yeah. The Blitz Screen of Damage icon. Okay. There we go. We got an esports capsule. There's another one. Got another emote. Speechless Lysandra. Okay, I like that one. Might have to use that. Mundo choices. Corporate Mundo choices at that. There's another esports capsule. And another. And another. This is what I was really expecting, to be honest with you, is a lot of them convert into esports capsules. Because that's what happened last year. Oh, another Timo emote. I love it. I still got the shocked Timo from last year. More esports chests. Ooh, Caitlin. Got a lot of esports capsules coming out of here, which is, again, exactly what I expected. Which is why I went for the world's capsules first, because I knew this would happen. Stop jungle diff. Ugh. I really wish they would do the open 10 on these, but that's okay. More capsules.
So basically, when it comes to these capsules...
But wait, there's more.
You open a capsule right now, we'll throw in another capsule just for free. And you can have all of these capsules just by watching us on LOLesports.com. Yeah, I can chill.
I mean, well, you would pretty much have to shill, because if you really think about it, you have nothing to shill but shill itself.
Around here, yes. All right, so I think we've given up on emotes and we're just getting capsules now. Down to 5 of these things left. More esports capsules. All right, so we got 55 of these things to open. Let's see what we get. Now, these won't have other capsules. Well, the other capsule likelihood is low. And if there are, it's just going to be regular Hextech chests. All right, we got an emote. Another emote. Ban Yumi. Ooh, Draven Pentakill icon. Welcome to the League of Draven. That actually is the Shoutcaster, the esports Draven champ. There is Forecast Janna, forecast icon. I see what they did there. Master Yi with the video camera. That's kind of funny. More emotes. I already know I have that, so I'm gonna... That'll get... We will see duplicates, and the duplicates will just get... I can break them down for essence, which I can use to unlock other stuff. World Champion Minions icon.
Not too many duplicates.
They will start to add up because these chests only have a certain pool of stuff you can pull out of them. So you will start to see duplicates over time. Like there's another Janna icon.
Oh yeah, now I'm seeing more of the duplicates.
Yeah. So, like I said, whatever duplicates there are, we can break them down for essence, which allows us to open up or allows us to unlock other stuff. We can also re-roll them as well, but I don't like to re-roll that often because it's re-roll is at a 3-to-1. So I don't think re-roll is really worth it. I mean, it can be a good way to get like legacy content that you can't get anymore, but I'm pretty sure we've exhausted the pool of what's in there. And Big Brain Poro, I haven't seen that yet. All right, last box. All right, so we did get 2 skins out of that. We got the Empyrean Jin, and we got the Gragas Esquire. I do have enough to get that right now. As you can see, we got quite a bit of duplicates on the emotes. And you can't re-roll emotes. Okay, so that's just gonna all turn into orange essence, which is perfectly fine. Because the orange essence I can use to unlock other skins that have been sitting for forever that I haven't had enough to unlock with. All right, that I can do later. And then we got Poros as well, or icons as well. Got a good bit of. Can't re-roll these either. You used to be able to re-roll these. But we also got the. Is it here? Yes. We got the Tiffany Ward, which is actually really nice. I started using it. I was using my Honor 3 Ward for forever and a day. I switched over to the Tiffany Ward. I like it. And then we got the Tiffany Crystal Rose Chromas as well for 3 champions I don't play. But that's okay. And then, as you can see, quite a bit of emotes there. I think I am going to replace that, though. And as you can see, there's our shocked Pikachu. I mean, a shocked Teemo emote from last year's Worlds exclusive. We got the very NASA's much wow that they kept trying to hark on Prime. We got our Cassidon excuse me emote for our placement in Pick'ems. So you can see my my emote layout. You can't tell I'm salty at all, though. Definitely not using a Draven thumbs up. Nope, not at all. I'm not toxic. No, not at all. But there's our drops. Overall, not bad. As always, they maximized drops during finals, which, no surprise to anybody. I do want to go ahead, though, and move to talk about the finals a little bit. As you know, there's always a press conference after these games. The finals are no different. I have to give some props to Faker though, because Field General Faker like showed up at the press conference after they lost. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this on screen here so you guys can see this. I'm not going to air the whole press conference. It's like 12 minutes long. But I do have the one clip where he gets asked a question and he's just like shuts the whole fucking thing down before it even gets started.
질문입니다. 페이커 선수는 이전에 이제 월드 결승에서 좌절을 맛본 경험이 있지만 나머지 팀원분들은 처음 겪는 또 아픔인데요. 그렇기 때문에 좀 위로를 위해서 페이커 선수가 해준 말씀이 있을까요?
뭐 일단 올 한 해 동안 선수들이 굉장히 열심히 해줬기 때문에 이렇게 승전에서 저희가 충분히 이길 수 있을 만한 저력을 가지고 경기를 치렀다고 생각하고, 그렇기 때문에 선수들에게 고생했다고 진심을 담아서 이야기했고요. 그리고 저희가 비록 준우승에 그쳤지만 오히려 준우승으로부터 배우는 점이 훨씬 더 많을 거라고 생각하기 때문에 어떻게 보면은 저희가 패배했지만 많은 것을 가지고 돌아갈 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
제우스 선수에게 질문이었습니다. 많은 분들이 정말 제우스 선수가 세계 최고의 탑 라이너의 활약을 보여줬다고 많은 분들이 칭찬을 했고
So yeah, no, Faker's like, hey, first of all, like he's putting a stop to that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nah, we ain't gonna pull this stuff today. I do want to there was another one where he's like he kind of has that same field general mentality here.
페이커 선수에게 드린 질문입니다. 네 번째 우승 트로피를 못 들어서 너무 아쉬웠을 것 같은데 지금 기분이 어떠신가요? 그리고 마포교 출신인 데프트 선수에게 하고 싶은 말씀이 있나요?
And of course,
일단
even
저희가
after he
패배를 했기
loses, they
때문에
still
좀
can't
제가
drop
부족했던
this
부분이
freaking
뭐가 있는지를 지금
Mapo
생각하고
High
있고,
School.
이번 경기에서도 좀 굉장히 아쉬운 부분도 많았는데 다음에는 좀 더 발전할 수 있는 계기가 될 것 같다고 생각을 지금 하고 있고요. 그리고 데프트 선수는 이번에 처음으로 롤드컵 우승했는데 그럴 만한 자격이 있는 선수라고 생각하고 굉장히 축하한다고 말해주고 싶은 마음입니다.
페이커 선수에게 드린 질문입니다. 사실 5년 전에 비해서는 사실 그때는 페이커 선수는 많이 오르셨잖아요. 근데 이번에 좀 다르신 것 같은데, 그리고 신경이 어떻게 변했는지 궁금하고요. 그리고 이번에도 다른 팀원들 많이 외로워해 주시는 모습도 봤는데 많이 달라진 것 같습니다.
일단 예전에는 조금 그런 결과에 대한 아쉬움도 있었고, 저희가 3대0으로 무참하게 패배를 했기 때문에 굉장히 부족한 부분이 많아서 그런 슬픈 감정이 있었던 것 같고, 이번에는 저희 선수들이 굉장히 노력을 많이 했고 팀 내에서도 다들 연습을 열심히 하는데, 특히 제우스 선수는 굉장히 열심히 하는 선수이기 때문에 좀 슬퍼할 필요가 없다고 생각을 했었고, 그리고 저희가 비록 준우승에 그쳤지만 다음에는 더 발전할 수 있을 거라는 믿음이 있기 때문에 이번에는 눈물이 나오지는 않은 것 같습니다.
He's running it back.
Oh yeah.
This.
Oh yeah.
I said it.
I think he realizes, right? And I know I definitely realize. This is the second well, I guess technically third, but this is the second Worlds that these five have been together. They didn't make a roster change last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the second Worlds these guys are together. Last year, what was it, quarterfinals? They got unfortunately knocked out, and what really should have been a semifinals matchup. And then this year, they're runners up. And I mean, also, if you look at it, you could tell Faker has really grown as a player because, look at how he's handling this post game conference, right? He's like, oh, yeah, no, hey, Zeus was freaking insane this entire time. Like this entire tournament, dude was on. To quote the movie Airplane, dude was on, didn't trip. Yeah, I probably could have put a little bit more jive into that, but you know where I was going with that.
Why do you think you got the monkey?
Faker's like, yeah, you know what? Hey, first of all, we did lose, right? We're runners up. I screwed up in a couple of places. I'm going to go back and look at my play. I'm going to see what I did wrong and what I can do better for next year. And I think he's going to run it back. I think Faker's like, you know what? If I can get this far internationally, this is my second peak, right? I'm on my way to my second peak. And if I can't do it next year, well, that's it. And I have a feeling that's going to be the major storyline for Faker next year.
Yeah, I said it and I called it as DRX were lifting up the trophy. Next year is Faker's Fuck You Tour.
Because Faker is 26. And if I am not mistaken,
I think the limit is 28.
Yeah,
the
or, yeah,
limit is
28.
28 because they want you out by 30 so you can do your 5 years as a reservist.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next year, even though he'll be 27, given everything else, you don't want to push it. Especially now what's going on domestically in South Korea in particular.
Well, he has to enlist by his 28th birthday.
Yep.
So his birthday, Faker's birthday, is May 7th.
Yeah, so it would
that's
have
right in between. I don't even know if that's right in between splits. It's more like right at the tail end of spring split. So yeah, this is pretty much next year's going to be his final season. Because he'll turn 27 right at the end of spring split next year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to enlist by his 28th birthday. So, yeah, this legitimately is his next season is going to be his last. I would not be surprised at all whatsoever if we find out that he signs a 1-year extension with SKT.
This is why I say, unless otherwise, your two storylines going into 2023, Faker's tour versus can Deft pull an Elway. Unless anything changes, that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised, or I would be surprised if T1 have Faker retire this year and keep the rest of the team together. Because the rest of the team's contracts, except for Faker's, don't expire until next year.
Yep. So it's like, hey, 1 year.
So, and I know Joe Marsh would be more than willing to bend over backwards to give Faker a 1-year contract.
Yeah. It's that simple.
But yeah, 1 year 1 year extension, and whatever happens, happens. Faker goes off to do his 18 months, whether that's I don't know if he's has to do military service or if he has to do like the basically community service, but I know he does have to go off.
Yeah, he does. Now, granted, with recent changes in South Korean domestic developments, by this time next year, that whole thing may change.
Because I know that if you dropped out of school, or at least it used to be, I know they changed it recently, or at least I've heard that they've changed it recently. I haven't like kept up with this, but I know that they changed it. It used to be if you dropped out of high school, you only had to do I'm trying to remember what the heck it was called. I believe it was called supplementary service. Yeah, supplementary service. Which was basically like you know how like here in the US they have like or at least back in like the older wars they had like women's auxiliary reserve type thing.
Yeah,
something similar to that. Like a social, well, not a social, but like a public government service, but not the military.
Right.
But my understanding is they changed that where now it doesn't matter if you dropped out or not. You have to go to active duty.
Oh yeah, they've definitely changed that part.
Yeah, because it's gonna come down to what's going on, or it comes down to whatever his whatever Faker's physical grade ends up being. If he gets a grade 1, 2, or 3, I believe he is going into service. If he gets a 4, he might be able to go to supplementary service. But I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna end up in a grade 4.
No,
because I'm looking at it right here. The only way, honestly, I think he ends up in a grade 3 or 4, and even if he gets a grade 3, he's still gonna have to go to service. Is if he gets diagnosed with some sort of severe mental something or other. Like, according to this chart, I would be graded as grade 4 because I have autism. I have an autism spectrum disorder.
Well, I wonder what grade that chart would put me.
But yeah, it looks like in 2021 they changed it. So yeah, it doesn't matter what your educational background is. It's based on your physical grading. At least that's what I'm getting from Wikipedia right now. Because I see here that from the second half of 2015 through 2020, if you were a high school dropout or less in your educational background, it didn't matter what grade you were, you got supplementary service.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're changing that so that it does, if you are a high school dropout, it doesn't matter if you're a high school dropout. If you grade 1, 2, or 3, you're still going to active duty.
Yeah, because you had the new government, which that said new government is now running into a lot of issues. So again, that might change back. I don't know, but again, I repeat, with what's going on domestically, especially now with recent developments in the South Korean government, situation is slightly fluid. Because after what happened in Taiwan, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the thing here, and
Yeah, you're digging in real deep.
yeah, no, I'm looking at it, and I'm reading over the section. Excuse me. The section on sports exemptions. Which, yeah, Faker ain't getting a sports exemption. No
Nope.
esports guys, especially Faker, who's probably the only one who would even be close to getting one, is going to be getting an esports objection anytime soon, unless he places at the Asian Games or
And
the Olympic
again,
Games.
with what's going on, the president after Taiwan might have to go ahead and maybe make some changes to that. I would too, especially if I'm dealing with what he's dealing with.
I mean, if you can get to that level and you win, and the law states, hey, you got here, you won, congratulations, you don't have to go to the military. Somebody passed that law, right?
Right, and this is why I say, without going into too much detail, after Itaewon, people are calling for the South Korean president's head. I will explain at a future date. So, I'm not saying guarantee changes, but I am saying with the amount of pressure, with everything that happened, change isn't entirely out of the question within the next 12 months.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it affects Faker when he's done at Worlds next year. Who knows? Hopefully, Faker didn't miss his best window to do military service by continuing to pursue his career, but we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we do have the DRX side of that press conference as well. Notably here, give me a moment because I am not ready for that to go on screen yet.
가장 먼저
There is the preliminary. What skins are they going to get?
승리 축하드립니다. 우승팀 기자회견의 전통적인 질문이죠. 각 선수분들별로 희망하시는 스킨 챔피언이 있으면 한 번씩 부탁드립니다.
저는 아트록스 스킨을 만들고 싶습니다. 바로 나야?
저는 킨드레드로 만들고 싶습니다.
저는 아칼리로 하겠습니다.
저는 게이틀린 하겠습니다.
저는 스킨이 좀 많아서 좀 불안하긴 하지만 저는 애쉬로 하겠습니다.
표식 선수에게 질문입니다. 오늘 경기 전
I can already tell the smirk on your face.
Well, there was apparently a thing where he was talking to Riot's. They're talking to Riot's skin team already. Apparently, Ash wants a. What the fuck? Why is this? Having some technical difficulties here. Sorry. No, everything just literally keeps freezing and locking up.
That happened to me a few times over the course of the show.
It's no secret that Beryl is really into Genshin Impact. And he's trying to get Riot to create a champion that looks like one of the characters from Genshin Impact. He's trying to get the waifu from one game into the other game. So there, I if I could find it, I'll get it back up. But there was an interesting text exchange about that. I think we might actually have it here if I can get this to pull back up properly.
첫 번째로 이제 다른 기자분께서 2020년 롤드컵 우승 스킨으로 원하는 챔피언을 물어보셨을 때 애쉬라고 말씀하셨는데 애쉬를 고르신 이유가 궁금하고요. 그리고 이 팀에서 유일하게 두 번째로 스킨을 만드시게 된 분인데 스킨을 만드는 데 있어서 조언을 좀 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
일단 애쉬를 고른 이유는 뭐 옆에 있는 팀원들은 아무도 모르겠지만 저에 대해서 관심이 많은 팬분들이라면 다 알 거라고 생각하고 이제 옆에 있는 팀원들한테
Again, the waifus.
뭐 조언을 해주자면 저는 일단 많은 사람들이 되게 즐기면서 인기가 많은 챔피언들이 어쨌든 스킨의 그런 사용량이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 최대한 이제 인기가 많고 모든 티어 분들 이제 모든 이제 뭐 낮은 티어 분들이나 상위 티어 분들도 다 같이 쓸 수 있는 그런 좋고 쉬운 챔피언이 저는 좋다고 생각합니다.
아무래도 베리 선수를 모르는 분들이 많을 것 같아서 은유적으로라도 좀 설명해 주실 수 있나요, 애쉬?
They're really trying to force him to say it's a
좀
waifu.
공식적인 자리라서 부끄러워서 말을 못 하겠습니다.
See, Beryl, that's the perfect way that you do it. That is perfect. That is exactly how I would answer that
감독님한테
question.
질문을 더 드리겠습니다.
If you
아무래도
know, you know.
It's like, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, well, you know what? I can't say. We're in public.
I mean, hell, if you were in that situation, I would
be like, because the champion's hot. Like I do it just like that too, like full lean tilt into the microphone. I'm wearing the same goddamn headphones they're wearing. If you didn't notice, like, cause the champion's hot.
Yeah, we need to get you a team. Although next thing you know, somehow there would be manipulations into skins that would somewhat resemble for different champions, and the next thing you know, you have their versions of panty and stocking. I don't know why that comes into my head, but then again.
Well, you should get out of my head because that wasn't too dissimilar from a dream I had the other night. Which we'll talk about on Point of Viewer, because this is not League to the Max or whatever anymore.
I'm adding that to the list because, boy, hell, we're going to make our election coverage extra spicy. Thank you.
Yes, Andesian winning the World's Championship on DRX as an emergency sub. No, I shit you not. I had a dream. I'll explain the high level details.
Okay.
I had a dream Saturday night after we fucking went off the air and I went to bed. That it was one of those, you know how in hockey each team has to, like, the home team has to have that emergency goalie available.
Yeah, the e-book.
For either side in case something happens.
Yeah.
I for whatever weird reason, that was a rule in League of Legends. And for the finals, I was the emergency sub. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't ask me why, but apparently, even though I've never played jungle in my life, at least not good anyways, I could play top lane, I could play bot lane. In an absolute pinch, I could go to mid. I'm decent at support, just because I know a lot of the support pool champs. But primarily, I'm a bot laner, right? Like, I play AD carries. I do know how to play top. I spent the season playing top lane in the Juggernaut meta like everybody else did when ADCs went to trash. But I had to fill in as a substitute jungler for DRX and managed to win us World Finals. Weirdest fucking dream of my life, I swear to God.
Oh, yeah. more in-depth discussions during Election Night in America, a POV special episode tomorrow over exactly one of these not a network affiliates.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Oh yes, and after what I've heard, I'll talk about that tomorrow as well.
Oh.
I have plans.
Oh shit, I gotta be around for this. Look, motherfucker, if we're only gonna be on the one channel, I am not guaranteeing you a sobriety at all whatsoever.
Oh no, I'm already not going to be sober, so I'd expect nothing more.
Or less. Because...
But wait, there's more.
Fuck your couch, nigga. Buy another one, you rich motherfucker. Fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your couch. Darkness is.
Fuck your shout.
Again, if you're going to be expecting serious results as the polls close throughout the night, go elsewhere.
Yeah. You will not be hearing this. Okay, you might be hearing that, but it damn sure ain't going to be serious. So, I have to ask Dr. Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
What was your favorite moment of this tournament?
Whew.
It's been a very big, long, crazy 21 days of League of Legends.
Favorite tournament, or favorite part of the tournament. The finals as a whole is really my second favorite, but I have to go specifically slightly way back a little bit to the quarterfinals. Simply because with the stakes and everything, going back to one of the other teams that I rooted for and picked in Damwon. Especially how Game 4 in particular ended. That was my favorite, not only for just really the play itself, but for selfish reasons, knowing that at that point, I was so very, very close to one-upping the great Andesian and being right, and how I called that.
I appreciate being called the Great Andesian.
In that sense, yes.
I have to say, I'm kind of at a toss-up, to be honest with you. For me, it's either the Faker JDG outplay, right? As we saw in the Rise outplay, as we saw in our highlight package earlier, or the Deft inhibitor. In 10, 12 years of professional league, I've never seen that happen. I don't think we'll ever see it happen again. That was just... To quote the casters, the game was in your hands, Deft.
You couldn't have timed that better if you tried.
Now, as far as hype goes, because I feel like I kind of actually have to separate the game moments from the hype moments, because Riot is very good at hype videos. I don't know how the fuck they do it, but they're very good at hype videos. Honestly, even seeing it for that probably the fourth time now in our highlight package, or in our intro package, right? The story of DRX. That finals hype video.
Oh man.
Just still sending shivers down my spine. I don't think there will ever be a time where I won't watch that video and feel even a mild shiver go down my spine at just what the fucking hell that was amazing that hype video was.
Riot knows storylines. Riot knows plot armor and everything else.
Riot's got some damn good writers. That's what it is.
This is what I'm saying. It's like, all right, you give them that, off they go. And this is the not even gold. That is the palladium and lithium and bauxite they come up with.
I mean, quite literally, they might have made a little bit of a mockery of it when they say, you know, this is the kind of shit that only happens in movies. But holy fuck, man. Riot took the kind of shit that you would expect out of a movie and turned it up to 11. They turned it up to 12 even. Like, it just, the hype machine does not fail to cease to amaze me. Now, I want to bring up one more thing. As I said earlier, right, that I think we might have a world's championship back in North America sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that there was a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if I can't, it's a, fuck it. Of course it's a pro feature.
Something tells me there's numbers.
There are some numbers to take a look at. Yes. I'm gonna pull up. I gotta find it, but give me a moment. I'm gonna pull it up. Because I will find it. So, last year's grand finals.
Mm-hmm.
Viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I mentioned how we probably wouldn't get another World's Championship because the viewership has been crap?
Yeah, down and up to 40% in some cases.
Yeah. Last year's grand finals peak viewership 4.01 million. 4,018,728.
Okay.
To be exact.
Okay.
This year's World's Finals. Would you like to play higher over or the clock game?
Wait, did you just say higher over?
Would you like to play high, low, or the clock game?
High, low.
Okay. Higher or lower?
Oh, so higher.
Okay. Now, do you want to play the clock game or do you want to just try to take a guess?
I'll play a little bit of the clock game.
Okay.
5.5 million.
Lower.
5.2 million.
Lower.
5 million.
Higher.
5.1 million.
Higher.
5.15 million.
Close to hell enough. 5,147,699 peak viewers.
So a healthy increase of a shade over 20%. 25%. Yes. a shade over 25% increase.
Yeah. It's the most watched thing ever on Twitch. By far. And it's a new record for LOL Esports.
So you were saying?
I would like to allow you to go back to what you were saying earlier in the tournament. One very specific phrase, which I have to give you the honors of saying.
NA tournament buff?
NA fucking tournament.
Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, with the start time, because we were looking at a start time of what, 9:30 p.m. Eastern?
Roughly, yeah, once you got past the opening ceremony and all the hype and more hype and a third hype and DRX symbol.
Some of the bitch, I knew exactly where that joke was going to. Halfway through. So, if you go...
Some of the bitch, I knew what he was doing. You put the evidence in the car!
So, if you look at that start time for going into pick ban for game 1, translate that, you're looking at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday in South Korea.
Yeah.
8:30 a.m. on a Sunday in China. Those are not entirely optimal, but damn feasible start times. You can have breakfast and lunch as things are going on.
I mean, it was an 8-hour and change day, yeah.
Exactly. But I mean so
we would know, we covered it.
8 hours,
the whole thing.
8 hours, 14 minutes, and 48 seconds if we're going to be technical. However, I digress. Even if you start, you say, hey, set your alarm for like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. to get everything from the pregame onward. But if you're going, even for the opening ceremony, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., a little bit of an early start for a Sunday, but very doable. Riot knew what they were doing as far as getting everything peak viewership just about everywhere. And even for your European regions, you're talking a little bit like Analyst Desk came on at around midnight Central Europe or Western European time, so they just about nailed it for everybody. That's why
the opening ceremony peaked at 3.2 million concurrent viewers.
There you go.
So the pre-show / opening ceremony.
So yeah, it was a little late for your European viewers, but it's a Saturday night. So what are you really going to do knowing that you're going into Sunday? Early Sunday morning for your Eastern region viewers. And then prime time here in NA. Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you want to compare that to anything, I think it's safe to say you to compare it to the finals of the International this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1.75 million viewers for the Internationals final.
So basically just about a third of the viewership for the LOL final. Let that sink in a bit.
And that's why I say, given those numbers, the fact that also, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's what's really going to blow you away. What do you think T1 JDG was, which was the most popular game or viewership day before the finals?
3.5 million?
Way lower.
So go wait. 2 million.
2.2 million. 2,235,000.
So now you're talking by a factor.
At least double.
Oh no, more than double. I would say by a factor of.
As he does the math.
Get out my head! Just. Oh. So that's double, and then that's another. So by a factor of 2.33.
That's really what put the nail in the coffin for me. Is the fact that the finals doubled over total viewership. If you go back and look at 2021, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 2021 championship, you didn't get that kind of growth.
No.
The peak was the finals, 4,018,000 viewers. The
Mhm.
next closest behind that was semifinals, T1 versus Dam 1, which a lot of people believed was the actual finals of that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
3.5 million.
So you're only looking
Even
at
if you go to even if you go to third place, day 3 of quarterfinals, Mad Lions versus Dam 1 Kia at 2.293 million. Nowhere have we seen that kind of double up growth.
just in those examples from your third place with that damn one Kia, 90% increase in the final. And from that semifinal to the final, you're only looking at about a 14 to 15% increase semifinal to final.
I mean, I'm even going to pull up, or at least I'm going to try to go find it. Should be able to find it, not too difficult here. Find 2020 Worlds, where everybody was stuck at home. You kind of had to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else were you going to fucking do?
I mean, yeah. Oh boy, 2020 was a weird year.
All right, where is it?
Because I'm definitely curious about some of these numbers.
2020 tournament. Peak views 3.8 million in the finals, which was Suning versus Dam 1 Kia. Day 1 of semifinals was the runner-up G2 versus Dam 1 Kia.
2.7.
So 45% increase.
And this was held in China.
Yeah.
(2021's tournament, as we know, was held in Iceland. And 2022 in North America.
So again, we have Eastern, we have European, we have an NA.
Now, I want to see if I can find a 2016. Wow, that's as far back as these guys go. Can I? Is there available data? 2016 World Championship. Yep. Last time it was in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Peak viewership 1.6 million in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And the semifinals was 1.1 million.
So just about bang on almost 50%.
Something about North American tournaments, man. Good for viewership, apparently.
This is why I say I don't think Riot's going to be too greedy, even though look at how many people had tweeted the exact same thing I did. NA tournament buff, tournaments in NA, every tournament should be in NA, etc., etc.
I don't know if every tournament should be in NA. I like the idea of a traveling world tournament.
No, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. These were just some of the.
I definitely think it was a little. 6 years was a little too long.
And this is why I say I'm calling it right now. Nope, wrong one. Because of course. Or you could say I firmly am going to stamp on this. The next NA Worlds tournament will be no later than 2025.
Yeah, I can see that. I can legitimately see that.
I think 24 might be a bit too soon.
Because I don't believe we've got locations announced yet.
Yeah, I think 2024 would be a bit too soon, but 2025.
2023 has not been announced yet. So we definitely don't know 2024.
So 2025, I think, will be a perfect bam.
But I feel like 2023, we're going to go back to an Eastern country.
Mm-hmm.
If I was betting on Bovada, because 21 beats 21, goddammit, gamble responsibly. If Bovada had a futures bet on this, I would say Korea.
Yeah.
We're overdue for Korea again.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the last time it was in Korea was 2019.
Yeah. So either of these.
Actually, no, sorry. It was in 2019 was in Paris. 2018 was Korea. Yeah, so 2018 was the last tournament in South Korea. So I have a feeling we're overdue for a Korean tournament, which is why we're probably going to get Korea in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got EU in 2021. Even if it was just one city, it's in Iceland is still EU.
Yep.
We got China 2020. And then again in 2021 ish. They almost had it in China again. But I have a feeling we're going to get Korea in, because if we look at it, right? If we go back, we had 2014 was in Korea, 2015 was in NA, 2016 was in the US. Right? Last year we had EU, now we have US. So it only makes sense. I don't think they're going to go back to China because they did China 2020. So they're going to go back to Korea. After they go to Korea, they'll probably give China the full-on experience that they should have gotten in 2020. And then we'll see them come back to North America. I'm almost positive of it.
I was just about to say, because
maybe those 2 years get flip-flop backwards, but 23-24 is going to be China, North Korea 100%.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, because you already had EU, and with everything going on in 2026, I think that would be the next time to have a great EU tournament, because there would be less going on that year. So EU would have a perfect stage for it then. But yeah, 24 or 23, 24. I think honestly, South Korea gets first dibs, because China had it and nearly had it again. And then with everything going on in China, give that an extra year to settle. So if I were to put my bet on it.
Yeah, because unfortunately, geopolitical politics does have to factor into where Riot is going to go.
So that's why I
say they can't host a tournament somewhere that's not going to be entirely friendly to teams from 8 major countries participate.
Yeah. So that's why I say.
Yeah, I think Korea would be a little bit more amenable to, given the current geopolitical state. I think Korea would be a bit more amenable to an international tournament.
Oh yeah, very, very much so. That's why they would get first dibs. Then potentially, and that's why I think 24 would be more feasible for China, because everything that just happened now, you give that 24 months one way or another. That's China's, at the very least, their next crack. And then if not, they'll go elsewhere. But then 25, I would lock in NA. And then 26, I would go EU.
Yeah, because like I said, EU had a full traveling tournament in 2019. And then they got it again in 21 with Iceland. Now, obviously, like I said, they, China almost had it in 21, but,
it depends.
COVID and EU.
I'm going to say this. It depends on the geopolitical situation at that time. 24 and 26 are going to be China and EU. Worst case scenario, which would be a little bit ugly logistically, would be if they flip flop. And the reason why I say ugly logistically is because EU, they would be coming off the heels of the les Jeux Olympiques.
Yeah, like I said, I'm
in Paris. Whew, I had to dig into my French for that one.
I see that. Well done.
Ah,
Yeah, no,
merci beaucoup.
I like I said, next year is an Eastern Worlds Finals.
Yes.
Like 100% they're going to go to an Eastern country. It's been in the West too much in the past 4 years, 3-4 years. They're either going to go to China, and if they go to China, God help everybody. That year that they go to China, God help everybody. Because if you thought NA fucking tournament, they are going to pull out every stop and then some.
Yeah, because
they're probably holding on to shit that they had developed. I would not be surprised because this is Riot. They're probably holding on to shit, holding on to plans that they had developed for the original 2020 Chinese finals that they couldn't implement due to COVID. And they're waiting for full venue production capability to do.
And the fact
and when they go back to it, they're going to be like, all right, get all those plans off, get all the dust off those China plans. We're able to implement them this time.
Oh, and the fact that they're really, especially with Tencent, they're going to want to one-up NA. They see this year as the bar, and they're like, all right, they turned it up to 11.
No, Lil Nas X is definitely the bar now. You're not wrong.
They turned it up to 11. We're going to turn it up to at least 20.
But like I said, when it goes to China, God help us all, because that's going to be a banger of a finals and just of a year in general.
Man, it's going to be some long nights for that tournament.
Yeah, because that's going to be 2 a.m. for us.
But hopefully, if they go ahead with some format changes, it won't be those long of a nights. But we'll find that out going into this season.
Yeah, I'm sure by January, February, we're going to know where MSI is going to be and where Worlds is going to be and what the format changes are for both. Because they did say both.
Yeah.
So, because right now we don't know anything about what the MSI format's going to be, where the MSI is going to be held. I know 2022 they had it in South Korea, so who knows?
Now, if they really wanted to be cheeky, they could, while Worlds would be 2025 or thereabouts, maybe sneak in a little MSI one of those 2 years in NA. I don't know that specific.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did an MSI in North America. They haven't done an MSI in North America since MSI first debuted in 2015, where the entire thing was at FSU. I'm not kidding. The very first MSI in 2015 was held entirely at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center on the campus of Florida State University. It is the only other event up until semifinals in Atlanta this past weekend, or this past year, excuse me, that was held in the southern United States.
I will explain that come BWSR on Thursday. But that aside, yeah, lead up to, if Worlds is in 25, I'd say MSI 2024 NNA.
It's possible. MSI has had a thing, especially in more recent years, for going to, I don't want to say minor regions, but minor regions. 2017, it was held in Brazil. 2019, it was held in Vietnam and Taiwan. How the hell did they pull that off?
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just with the different stages, it's a good.
Yeah, they did the play-ins and the group stage in. Actually, they divided it. It was 3 different studios. They went to Ho Chi Minh City and played in the VCS studio for play-ins. The group stage, they went to Hanoi and played at the National Convention Center. And then in the knockout stage, they went to Taipei and played in the Haiping Basketball Gymnasium.
Okay, so you're only talking about 6.5 hour flight.
Yeah.
Again, don't ask how I know these things.
In 2020, it was canceled, but I'm trying to remember where it was supposed to originally be held, because it doesn't say. I'm sure I can try to find it later, but
yeah.
And then 2021, it was held in Iceland. This year, it was held in South Korea. But I have a feeling MSI is probably going to go back to another minor region. I would love to see them do like in Australia, to be honest with you. Maybe a Japan.
For 2023, Japan might be easier than Australia, simply because Australia is going to be preparing for a lot next year. Oh yeah, 2023 Australia would not work. Japan would.
I like the idea that MSI goes to the minor regions, though. I would say go back to Mexico, but I mean, we already saw them do, or Latin America, but Mexico did get a good representation as part of North America this year. So
if I were just like how we said for Worlds, Korea, China, NA, I would think for MSI, if I were placing my bets on Bovada, Japan, NA, Australia.
Yeah, it is entirely possible that Riot says, hey, look at the success we had with an NA Worlds. Let's go ahead and do an NA MSI.
That way you give the Eastern region still some love for a couple of years, and then we get a bit more time here in NA in the spotlight, kind of double duty, and then by 25, Australia would be perfect because, again, a lot less going on. And you don't have to do NA and MSI, or Worlds and MSI, same location with that year. I think that's a nice schedule.
But I do want to say one thing, though. Remember last year at this time where we did this and we talked about where the tournament could go, and we said if it's a North American tournament, the different cities where a North American tournament could work?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say that I called the shit out of Atlanta?
You did. I thought about that, and given your in-depth, longer history, much longer than mine with different stuff in Atlanta, I was all with you on that one. It would work entirely.
Like I said, I'm really hoping we get more Southern events in the U.S. out of Riot. Even if it's just the LCS, right? It doesn't have to be like Worlds, because we're not going to have Worlds in North America every year. But
No.
I would love to see more LCS events in the South. And I'm hoping that Worlds has convinced Riot, hey, there is a fan base here.
Go back to what I said before semifinals. The South had something to say, and boy, hell, did they say it.
Because I'm not kidding. Like, literally, you go and you look, and the closest that Riot had gotten to the South before Atlanta this year, you could probably argue Chicago. I would say Chicago. Because Chicago's further south than New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as east, but yeah, I would say Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe was 2016 Worlds.
Well,
yeah, that was 2016 Worlds because it was semifinals at the Chicago Theater.
Well, LCS in particular, if you're listening, throw Atlanta a championship bone a couple of weeks.
Hell, you could do let me go to the championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did it in Chicago, of course. They did it at the United Center. It was playoffs this year, summer playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
Rounds 1, 2, 3 in the upper bracket final for the postseason was at the LCS Arena in the LCS studio in LA. And then the lower bracket final and the grand finals was in Chicago. The 2021 season, because that's usually when they actually travel. Wait a minute. I hit the wrong button. There we go. I'm like, why are you giving me Academy information? Oh, because I clicked on Academy, didn't I? 2021, they didn't go anywhere. Unless oh no, sorry, championship. Yeah, they didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. As traveling 2020, 2021, well, especially 2021 in particular.
2020 also didn't go anywhere. 2019. '19 was in Detroit. Little Caesars Arena. '18. Not sure where they were in 2018. Oracle Arena, Oakland. California.
Yes, because when people think Oakland, they automatically think Oakland University in Michigan.
Wow. 2017 season. Summer playoffs. Nothing. Don't know where it was held. Sure, I could probably go back and find a VOD to figure it out, but like I said, last time they were in the actual South was MSI when the inaugural MSI.
Yeah, so that's why I say LCS championships, you can easily work out something and throw State Farm Arena a bone.
I don't even know if you have to do it in Atlanta, right? Come to Orlando. Maybe you do something in, one of the Carolinas, Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nashville. So 2016 was Canada, Toronto, to be specific, the Air Canada Center. '15. Looking. Madison Square Garden.
All right. So basically, judging by the theme of what they do, Nashville, I forget the name of the arena, but it's where the Predators play. Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Hurricanes play, NHL. Orlando, Amway. Yeah, that's already 3 non-Atlanta venues that you can go to right there.
And I know we talked about this time last year as well after the end of the 2021 tournament, but Nashville's got a pretty good tourism industry and tourism infrastructure.
And they've gotten better.
And yeah, I was going to say it's gotten better. The Carolinas, I'm told it's good. I don't know one way or the other.
If you're going with the Carolinas, you specifically want to go with the triangle. Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and North Carolina. Raleigh, bam, Carolina Hurricanes. That's where they play. You've got your arena right there.
Obviously, like I said, Orlando, you've got the Amway Arena. We've got Disney World, for crying out loud. Like, the amount of content that teams can produce in Orlando is insane. The hype videos that Riot can do in Orlando.
That's why I would really put Orlando right at number 2. Realistically.
Yeah, no. Like, if Worlds comes back to NA, you have to put Orlando on the list.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. I'm sorry, but you have to. Even as much as I hate to say it, but even if it's groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it's play-ins or groups, like something that doesn't really get the crazy heavy storylining. Actually, no, you could argue. Well, I don't know. You could argue groups actually has the heaviest of storylines because they have to do 4 days of videos plus the teasers and stuff for the first week. And a lot of teams will end up shooting teaser content and hype content in Orlando, which would carry through the rest of the tournament, depending on how far some of those teams go. But if you want the front and center content like we saw at Atlanta, semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Semifinals in Orlando would be perfect. Honestly.
Boy, could you imagine that weekend. If that happens,
you're talking like a third or fourth weekend of October in downtown Orlando, or just Orlando in general. Because think about it, right? You've actually got a few different options if we're being realistic here.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to Amway Arena.
You could.
You could go to the Orange County Convention Center.
You also could.
That you can set up stadium arena seating in their biggest sections of the conference hall, or the convention hall.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to the Gaylord Palms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Orlando's got some ultra giga huge convention spaces that can turn into, a couple thousand seating real fast. Now, they'll probably go to Amway because, existing infrastructure and everything would work best for what Riot does.
Not to mention, you're talking, seeing the pattern with the arenas, not just existing structure, but 15 to 20,000 seats with minimal extra effort.
Yeah. I mean, when you set them up in concert venue or in concert format, where you can add in floor seats, yeah, 20,000. But I mean, ideally, I think the perfect North American tour when Worlds comes back around 2025. I think you have play-ins in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You have group stage. Don't put it in New York again.
Yeah,
New York is better for a quarterfinals because New York is just way too fucking expensive.
Yeah, because
I know so many people that were like, "Man, I wanted to do all of group stage, but New York is just too fucking expensive."
Yeah, if they still keep play-ins, either Toronto or Montreal for Canada, one of those two.
And they've been to Toronto before a few times. I know it's not just the one. I can't find it offhand, but I know they've been to Canada a few times now. But yeah, no, go to Toronto, do play-ins if they keep play-ins, right?
Yeah, big if.
Do the group stage.
Chicago?
Chicago could work, yeah. Michigan, Detroit could work.
Yeah.
Hell, do it in fucking Los Angeles, right? Go to the Staples Center.
Crypto.com arena.
Yeah, let's go to the Staples Center. Because I don't want to see another North American final in California.
Or if you go to LA, you wouldn't even have to go to crypto.com arena by the time 2025 comes around.
Go on.
You are aware there's 2 basketball teams in Los Angeles, right?
I was just made aware.
Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers, the OGs, and the Los Angeles Clippers, who were moved from San Diego by a former owner who shall not be named in 1984. Current Los Angeles Clippers owner Steve Ballmer has already set up and got everything going for a
Hold on. Are we talking the same Steve Ballmer of developers?
Yeah, Microsoft?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Steve Ballmer. He's owned the Clippers for a couple of years now. And as part of him purchasing the Los Angeles Clippers, he immediately negotiated, set up a site. I think by now they've broken ground. I'll have to double check. For a separate arena for the Clippers, because they don't want to keep sharing Crypto.com arena with the Lakers and Los Angeles Kings. So he's like, I'm buying the team. This is my team. I'm going to get them a new arena. I'm pretty sure by 2025, that arena will be up and going.
Interesting.
So if you go to LA,
I know if they go back to, if Riot does something in LA or much less in California, which is pretty much a guarantee because Riot's based in LA, they are going to want to do, they're either going to go back to the Chase Center, or I wouldn't be surprised if they do go to a new Clippers owned arena.
Check that. The Intuit Dome. And guess where it's right nearby?
Riot's headquarters?
Even better. Where was the last Super Bowl held?
LA Rams, right?
Yes.
What is it, right next door to the freaking field or something?
Yes. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. The Intuit Dome is in Inglewood. They broke ground last year, and it will be open in 2024. So if World swings by in 2025,
I could see it working.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
No, I could see it working. But I definitely don't want Riot to do another West Coast final.
No.
Please, no.
So what you could do, again,
here's what I see, right?
Uh-huh.
If the format remains where it is.
Right.
Play-ins in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
You do groups in either California or Texas.
Okay.
Or somewhere Midwest. Like Midwest heading west, right?
So I would say for those, either Detroit, Chicago, or Dallas.
Yeah. Detroit, Chicago, Dallas, LA, San Fran. Maybe even Seattle.
Or hell, Seattle, or throw Denver into the mix.
Yeah, you could throw Denver in there. Like one of those like western spots.
Those in that part of the country, outside of a lot of the Eastern time zone, save for Detroit.
Semifinals? Much as I hate to say it, or love to say it, depending on how you want to put it. Semifinals, New York City. Go back to MSG. You're going to want to do something in New York, which is fine. That's just, it's a Riot hallmark at this point.
Yeah. If you can do MSG, or even if not directly MSG, you've got Barclays.
No, they're going to do MSG. They only do MSG. They've never not done MSG.
All I'm saying is, at least with the options and stuff, because even with this, I agree.
With the fact that it would be something bigger like semifinals, they'll do actual MSG and not
if
the
you're
mini
doing
theater at MSG.
If you're doing actual MSG instead of the Hulu Theater, fine. I am just saying, don't entirely count out the Barclays Center, because I guarantee you.
Is that the new barn?
No,
because I could see them going to the new barn as well.
No. The new barn is on Long Island. The Barclays Center.
I don't remember where the hell the Barclays is, and I don't remember what the hell they're calling the new barn.
Well, the new barn is on, I forget the name of it, and I was just about to tell you the Barclays Center is in Brooklyn.
Oh.
Home of the Brooklyn Nets? That Barclays Center?
Do we really want to have a League of Legends tournament in Brooklyn?
I don't put anything out of the realm of question for anything, especially the Barclays Center, okay?
Brooklyn?
Again, I'm not
Next
putting
thing
anything
you're going to be
question.
telling me is they're going to do it in Queens.
Oh, please. If they... No, Arthur Ashe Stadium is way too small. No, it wouldn't work.
Well, at least it ain't Manhattan.
And for those of you wondering, yes, Arthur Ashe Stadium, tennis court, U.S. Open. That's where they hold the final of the U.S. Open, right in Flushing, Queens.
Your sports knowledge surprises me sometimes.
I drink, I smoke, I know things. We have established this.
We have established this, yes. But yeah, semifinals, actual MSG, because we know you're going to want to do something in New York City. Go ahead, do like you did in 2016, when you had 2016 they had quarters in. Hold on, because now I got to look this up again. 2016, they had semifinals at MSG. I was right. The actual MSG, not the mini MSG. Finals. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got two options, take it or leave it. State Farm Arena, Amway Center.
Agreed.
Atlanta has established itself as an esports hub and as an entertainment hub, right?
Absolutely. Yes, they
Like
have.
80% of fucking Marvel Universe movies film in Atlanta.
Not to mention, you get them on a finals weekend where, again,
There you
especially
can
for Saturday.
you thought your ambitious taking over of Centennial Olympic Park was big for semifinals. Now imagine if you take the energy that you put into finals and the Chase Center Plaza,
Mm-hmm.
and put that in Centennial Olympic Park, which, as you know, is practically right across the street from State Farm Arena. It's not a long walk.
Nope.
Dude, you're going to blow downtown Atlanta out of the fucking water.
Number one, if that happens, if either of those scenarios happen, you will have to have the extra job of being my handler because you know me, especially in Atlanta. You would know why. Number two, as I get the death glare,
as you get the I am not enthused look.
I'm just warning you in advance. Hey, take
I
it
know.
in-
Which is
No.
why I'm giving you the I'm not enthused look, because I already know what the hell's going to happen.
Exactly. You talk about getting the band back together. Oh boy, hell. Number two. Can you imagine, especially when there's minimal other events going on, make sure the Falcons are on the road, make sure the Dogs aren't playing. Atlanta would have that whole last focus, that whole weekend, particularly that Saturday.
Yeah, I think they would also want to try to avoid AWA if they can as well.
Yeah.
Although by 2025, AWA is not going to be at the Renaissance Waverly anymore, which is a strong possibility that they will not be on Halloween weekend anymore. Because their current contract with the Renaissance Waverly expires next year.
Okay.
Next year is going to be their last year at that venue by contract.
Mhm.
And with all the complaints and everything everybody's had about that venue in the past 2 years, and probably will next year, I'm not going to be surprised at all whatsoever if they look for a new venue.
Oh, yeah. So again.
And with new venue means probably new dates.
Yep. So that's one thing you wouldn't have to worry about. And then the other things would be the respective football schedules.
But you could also have that work in your favor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they pull what a lot of other conventions have done and move downtown, right? Even if it's not like all 5 hotels like DragonCon does, even if they move into the core DragonCon hotel bank, that's a mile and a half away from State Farm Arena.
Mm-hmm.
People get bored at the convention, or people can. I mean, people. I don't see any reason why people won't spend the night, because it would be evening, just like it was this year.
Yep.
I have no reason why people wouldn't spend the evening over at State Farm Arena watching the finals one of the 3 days of the weekend.
Oh, yeah. And again, especially if you put it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That way, even if the Falcons are at home on Sunday, you don't have to worry that's extra people in town coming for the visiting team. Hey, they could pop over Saturday, watch Worlds, the finals, Sunday, go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and catch the Falcons game.
Or you come to Orlando. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Nope.
You just kind of got to hope that Tampa Bay isn't playing at home, because there will be people that drive from, or the Lightning, because there are people that will drive from Orlando to Tampa for those games.
True. And even then, if you do it on a Saturday, it's less of a likelihood as long as it's not an 1 o'clock game Sunday for the Bucks.
Yeah, and finals is I think finals has always been on a Saturday. I think there was only 1 year they did it on if I remember correctly, there's only 1 year they did it on a Sunday.
Yeah, so if you have it in a Saturday night in Orlando, that's a lot less scheduling you would have to worry about. A lot less.
That's going to be a crazy ass downtown Church Street.
Again, you would have to be my handler, but just for different reasons than for Atlanta.
It's a crazy ass Church Street, man.
Again, either way, you would be my handler. It's just where it is depends on how bad.
I don't know, man. If it's in Orlando, it might be the other way around.
If it's in Orlando, then if it's gonna be the other way around, then we would hope for a quick finals. They let out about 11 o'clock, and that gives us a couple extra hours for shenanigans.
I know places. It is Orlando after all.
Oh, good. I'd be heavily relying on you for that.
But a finals in Orlando? Imagine that post-game press conference, right? One of them somebody on that winning team is going to say, I'm going to Disney World. I will make it, if Bovada had an actual bet for that, I would put the money down on it. 100%. Like, you cannot sit there and not tell me that if they have a finals in Orlando, especially if it's some Eastern team, because it's probably going to be an Eastern team, like a Korean team, that wins, that have never been to Disney World, it's 100% it's going to be, yeah, we're going to Disney World. I wouldn't be surprised if, one of the press pool guys, it's like, all right, team one, you finally won your fourth, or fifth, whatever, right? Are you going to go to Disney World? Like, just flat out, I could just see somebody saying, are you going to go to Disney World?
And imagine.
And imagine imagine the hype that you can add in as well with, the Disney angle, right?
Yes.
Cinderella's story, you can get some aerial shots of Cinderella's castle because Disney will give them. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney gave them to Riot. There would definitely be some partnerships working there.
Oh,
or
hell yeah.
Some partnerships formed there.
And especially if it's 2025, I mean, everything goes well and smooth. Imagine if Faker's back in time as a coach for that tournament.
Yeah. Hell, imagine if Faker comes back and plays. Say Faker, let's just, just for the sake of storyline, right? Let's say Faker goes all the way again next year and loses it again in the finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes off, does his 18, 24, whatever, however long he's got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
He comes back, and it's Worlds 2025 is his first appearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that probably would be the earliest that he could do it.
Absolutely. Giving the time
he could come back. He could probably come back fall of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Or summer of 2025, make the run and be there at Worlds 2025. But imagine if he's there at Worlds 2025 and he wins it. You can't write this shit. And I know we said that about DRX this year, but we've proven when you say you can't write this shit, well, guess what? It ends up happening anyway.
And the fact of that, again, knowing us, will be well deep in our thing, be it here at the network or elsewhere or what
Oh, we'll
have
find a way to get some media passes for that. We will find a way. Some bitch, I'm asking Faker a media question, one way or another. It's like, yes, Faker, now that you've won the world championship, what are your next plans? Do you plan to go to Disney World? I just need to be able to have somebody go, we're going to Disney World. But no, I think Riot has got to seriously look at the value of. Yeah, okay, so Atlanta happened because one of their sponsors bailed them out in the last minute because geopolitical bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Riot has learned a lesson from it of we have a serious fan base down here that we have been neglecting.
Big time.
Because I imagine if they polled all of those people that were in Atlanta, right? Is this your first Worlds event? Or is this your first professional tournament event? Yes. Why haven't you gone to any others? Distance. I guarantee you would be number one answer. Distance / cost. But yeah, no, man, you have a fucking semifinal in Atlanta and a final in Orlando, or even vice versa. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a heavy South end of the tournament. I would say you have to do the finals in Orlando just because the tourism infrastructure, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easy tourism infrastructure. Our airport, we've got the international customs like infrastructure there, right? Like Orlando's one of the biggest international flight hubs in the country. For any fans that might be flying in from out of the country just for finals, right? And it's not going to be a terrible place to fly out of to go back home. Like legitimately, Orlando has Orlando has the key infrastructure that Riot would be looking for in a location and a venue. At least I feel that it does.
I concur completely.
You've got tourism, which gives the teams plenty to do, and you've got plenty of beautiful locations where you can shoot at, right? Like, I would not be surprised at all whatsoever if hype videos for an Orlando venue, right? You don't have teams on Lake Eola. You don't have teams like on iDrive. You don't have teams at, I mean, I don't know, Disney's not going to let them shoot inside the park, but, maybe you're shooting somewhere on 535 with, in front of Disney or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Universal will probably bend over backwards and let them shoot inside Universal, but like there's so many iconic but also very pleasing film aesthetic locations in Orlando. And the people that are from Orlando and Florida and know Orlando will watch it and be like, oh shit, that's Lake Eola.
Okay. And the broadcast gains credibility.
Yep.
Just like you watch in Atlanta and you could, see some of those places and like, okay, they really went out and found some places. They really used all of Atlanta and didn't just stay inside the hotel district or the entertainment district. But overall, it was an amazing tournament. Again, another upset out of nowhere. I think that game 5 draft, I know we talked about it briefly, or actually more in depth, excuse me, on the finals day, but the game 5 draft out of T1, a little bit questionable, just like last year with damn one Kia. But it is what it is. Congrats to DRX. And we will be back next week, Tuesday, with preseason, postseason, however you want to put it, updates. Who's going where? Who's doing what? Information from the PBE if it's available. Whatever news that's fit to print. But tomorrow, you want to tell them about what's going on tomorrow, Dr. Manhattan? Just go ahead and take us out of here.
Well, tomorrow, yeah, not only is it going to be a special day because, well, we're going to be having a special blood moon lunar eclipse. That'll be going on in a matter of a few hours, but tomorrow morning, most polls are going to be opening bright and early 7 a.m. because it'll be, that's right, various candidates around the country will ask their constituents whether or not they're fit for the job, as it'll be election day and election night in America. Now, when I did this 2 years ago, it was a lot different. Different network, different platform. The original land speed record was created. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to have that particular co-host, thankfully. It'll be all different, as I will be embodied, and this guy right here will be disembodied, as we will cover the election night results.
This is me like waving off the land speed record. We're not even going to try to attempt for a land speed. We already set one this week. I'm not trying to challenge it this soon.
And this is why I say the original land speed record, which was only 5 hours. Yeah.
8 hours and 30 minutes and change.
8 hours, 14 minutes, 48 seconds, which is what we clocked in on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure as hell didn't feel like it until after we were like off the air. And then it's like, really? Was that 8 hours? Wow.
That was 8 hours. But we're going
it's like
to
in the moment, it was great. And then afterwards, it's like, fuck, that's 8 hours. I'm exhausted now.
Yeah. We're going to come on, not directly as some of the polls close on the East Coast, but we'll have a good idea. We'll give the key results and updates, but the last couple of weeks of points of viewer will be all wrapped up into one. The Adventures in Squid, the main disembodied voice of Doom's dream in further detail, content creators, ticket scalping, the whole
world
world.
championship. I'm a world champion in my dream.
We'll be covering all of that and then some as a special point of viewer will take place. Depending on the length of the show, we may come on a teeny bit early, but Stay tuned to the Nana Network across all our social media. We'll give you updates for when that's going to happen.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But in the meantime, I'm Dr. Manhattan at Squid Sportshead on Twitter, for Andesian at the Andesian on Twitter, for the Nana Network at Nana Network Pods on Twitter. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And then for Twitch, twitch.tv/AWP podcast, change coming soon. Twitch.tv/Andesian, change not coming soon. Search Not a Network Podcasts or Parallel Convergence on YouTube. Handle coming soon now that Worlds is over, ? Stay tuned for updates on that as well.
Well, for the last time, at least this year, Star Walking, the 2022 Worlds theme. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following us for our Worlds coverage. We hope you stick around, and we hope we have made a fan out of you. Please, like, follow, subscribe, whatever the button is. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week when Parallel Convergence returns to normal.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. On a mission and get high up and know that I'ma die. Reaching for a lot that I don't really need at all. Never listen to replies, learn the lesson from the wise. You should never take advice from somebody that ain't tried. They said I wouldn't make it out alive. They told me I would never see the rise. That's why I gotta get them every time. Gotta watch them bleed too. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Been there since I came out my mama. Thinking God that he never would. Prove him wrong every time till it's normal. Why worship legends when you know that you can join? These demons don't like me, they don't like me. Likely they wanna fight me. Come on, try it out, try me. They put me down, but I never cried out. Why me? We're from the wise. Don't put work inside somebody that ain't tried. They said I wouldn't make it out alive. They told me I would never see the rise. That's why I gotta get them every time. Gotta watch them bleed too. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Start walking. Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking.